Greetings, dear friend. I am 𝐒𝐮𝐩𝐩𝐸 from AfriRevolution company. In this video, I'm going to be guiding you on how to solve HND 2022 case study section A part 2, question 2. Before we get started, if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. We are actually on part 2, which is procedural programming. And in this video, we are going to be solving question 2, which says write a function name location of target that takes as its argument the following: 1. An array of integer values. 2. An integer that tells how many integer values are in the array. 3. An integer target value. And the question continues. The function should determine whether the given target value occurs in any of the cells of the array. And if it does, the function should return the subscript of the cell containing the target value. If more than one of the cells contain the target value, then the function should return the largest subscript of the cells that contain the target value. If the target value does not occur in any of the cells, then the function should return the sentinel value -1. Thus, for example, if the target value that is passed to the function is 34, and the array that's passed to the function looks like this, and they have given us an array, then the target value occurs in cell 3 and 5, so the function should return the integer value 5. So this is the question. I'm going to move back to my Visual Studio Code. I will start by creating a C file, which I will call target.c. I will proceed with the basic structure of a C program, which is okay. This is the basic structure of a C program. Let's get back to the question. The question says that we want to write a function which will be called location of target, and the function is having 3 arguments: an int array, the integer that tells how many integer values are in the array, and another integer called target value. Back to Visual Studio Code, I'm going to start by declaring my variables. I'm going to declare a variable called array, size, just size of 10. Another variable n, which will be used for the numbers of values in the array, and the last variable, which is target value. Okay, remember that those 3 variables are what will constitute the parameters or arguments of our function. I'm going to continue with a printf statement, which I will prompt the user to enter the size of the array. Then I will use a scanf to read that size of the array. I will use another printf to prompt the user to enter a target value. And scan F again to read the target value. Then another print F again to prompt the user to enter the arrays, to prompt the user to enter the array values. And now to make this work, that is enabling the user to enter the array value, we will have to use a for loop. And here I'm going to declare another variable j, which I will initialize it to 0, knowing that the first index, knowing that the first index in an array is 0. So j less than, then scan F now. At this point in time, our function can permit the user to enter the size of the array, enter the target value, and then enter the array values. Remember that the question says that we should write a function named location of target that takes as its argument the following: an array of integer value, an integer that tells how many integer values are in the array, and an integer target value. So now we are going to create our function. Back to Visual Studio Code. So my function will be of type int, which will be called location of target, and it's having as argument the array. Okay. So here we have declared our function, location of target, and we have added these three parameters or arguments, which are the array, which is of type int, or the number of elements in the array n, and the target value, that is the value that we will be searching in our array. Then we are going to use another for loop. Here I will declare another variable I, which I will initialize to 0. I is strictly less than number of elements in the array, then I plus plus. Then I will use an if construct, if array in this I is equal to the target value. And return the index. In other case, return -1. So the first part of this program simply looks for the target value in the given array. So it's important to note here that we are moving progressively to answering the question, because the question is asking uh, looking at target value in an array, even in cases where we have multiple occurrences of that target value. But what we have done at this point simply looks for the target value in the array. So now I'm going to invoke the function, and I will assign it to another variable. I will declare another variable called output, and I will assign a function to it. I have declared a variable called output, and I have assigned a function call to it. The next I'm going to do, I'm going to use an if statement. If output is equal to -1, use a printf statement. Printf %d. This is the program to look for a targeted value in an array. So let's look at it if there's any mistake. Okay, let me add the function prototype. So for the function prototype, I still have location, and but added so all the arguments are of type integer. The only difference is that we need to add this bracket to tell the program that that is an array. So we are done with the function prototype. Let's test this. So I will use Ctrl S to save. Let me compile this. Okay, it's some little mistake, line 16 error, expected semicolon. Okay, yeah. Let's compare it back. Okay, the program has compiled. You can see the executable file. So now we should enter let's enter the size of the array. We are going to be using the stated example in the question paper. We'll be using a target value of 34. So let's get back to Visual Studio Code. I will start by entering the size of the array. In the stated array in the question, the size is 7. Target value 34. Enter array value. I have 58, 26, 91, 70, 34, 44, and then it's 8. So you can see that it returns the correct answer because we have in the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But you have to note that this program works only when there's a single occurrence of a target value in the array. So this is the first code. Now imagine that we are having just 2 occurrences, or we are sure that in all the cases we will be having just 2 occurrences of the targeted value in the array. So we can modify this program in such a way that it works only when we have 2 occurrences of the target value in the array. To do that, we are going to get back to our function, which is this, and we are going to use a nested loop. So we are going to add another for loop, or before that we have if array of I. So the next step for comes here for I will declare another variable of type integer called s, which I will initialize it to I plus 1. S is strictly less than the size of the array. We increment s. And then here we have return s. Okay. Here we have modified the function so that it will work only when there are two occurrences of the target value. In such cases, it's going to return the subscript of the element with the highest subscript. That is going to return the second occurrence of the element in the array. So let's save this and test the program. Let me compile it back. So the size of the array, in the example, the target value 34. Then we have 58, 26, 34, 17, 34, 34. Oh, there's a problem somewhere. Mistake here. Okay, so you can see that our program is working as expected. Let's check again if in the case where we have just a single occurrence, it's going to work. So you can see that our program is working very well. As I said earlier, this program is in the case where we have just two occurrences of the target value in the array. In cases where we have more than two occurrences of the target value, it won't work. So we are going to modify the code now that it should work for all cases, no matter the number of occurrences of the target value in the array. So let's look again at that program. So we'll modify this function so that it should work in all cases, no matter the number of occurrences of the target value. So to do that, I'm going to come back here and I will declare a variable called last of type int called last occurrence. I will assign the value of -1 to it, just to say that at this point, there is no occurrence. to modify all of this. I'm going to move this inner for loop. To return this return, I'm going to remove that return value. And here, return last occurrence. So this guy and these guys are not more needed. So this is the modification of the program so that it works in all cases, no matter the number of occurrences of the targeted value. So I'm going to explain what I did. So here I assign -1 to it to simply tell the program that at that point a that variable last occurrence is not having any value in it. And then I have used the for loop to move through the array to check for the targeted value. And whenever it finds the targeted value, it's going to update the index of that value. And that is a function of the last occurrence equal to I. So at each time that it finds a targeted value, it updates I in last occurrence, and then at the end it returns the last occurrence of the number. So we are going to save and test the program. Let me compile it. So you can see that our program is working as expected. So it gave us the last occurrence of the targeted value, which is 34 in this case. Thank you once more for watching this video. And remember, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. We'll see you in the next video.